Hello, everybody, and thank you for joining us back here at Lynx's channel. We're, of course, sitting here once again with Mike, and Mike, it is Wednesday. How are you doing?
Yeah, we're doing well. We're doing well. I mean, we're coming to the end of the year, and so we're kind of looking back at what we've done and what we're planning on doing next year. So it's kind of that critical time in our planning and growth.
Wonderful, wonderful. Glad to hear it. So you had recently announced StyloPay, right? And while it was a really exciting announcement, you got a lot of questions back. People just wanting to know the ins and out of it and the intricacies. Can you help walk people through it a little bit more and answer some of their questions?
Yeah, yes. I mean, for us, StyloPay is really kind of a win-win on multiple different levels. I mean, first of all, just to kind of give you a quick little summary of what they do, I think we've seen a lot of things lately in the fintech space on what spend management and card platforms. So really, what you've got is a platform as a service where anybody, any business can go to them, plug in and create their own card programs, where they can, corporations for employees that for travel, for spending, you connect it to your bank account, you issue them cards, you load it and you track it. Something, a tremendous corporate efficiency. But where that transfers over into the markets that we're interested in is we really see it as moving that step further, as payroll or, things where people don't have bank accounts, where the card becomes the bank account and what you can do with that and how that card can connect it to it. So it's really exciting for us on that front. We started off this, it's been a big year for us. I mean, we really kind of kicked off in February of this last year is when I came on board. And what we did for the first part of the year was a lot of building blocks. We made acquisitions. We've talked about things like licenses and why licenses are important and distribution, for remittance channels and really kind of corporate fundamental stuff. But what StyloPay does is that next thing that really talks about the big and exciting stuff that we want to do as a business. And that is it puts down that technology layer on top of these things that now businesses can plug into and we can kind of reach out. So it really gets to the last piece that we need for our big vision is, well, in emerging markets, we're connecting the unbanked. And we have really kind of put a stake in the ground saying, what are the people that are actually going to do it across the board on the ecosystem? A lot of times you hear as different companies, and there's really innovative technologies happening out there, but they're components, right? The different solutions that if this happens and this happens, then we're going to solve that problem. Great things happening in credit scoring, great things happening in KYC, great things happening in savings accounts. But where's the opportunity to come in and get them in and have them touch the customer? And that's kind of, for us, that's what StyloPay has done. Putting that on top of what we're doing and creating that element is really exciting for us.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like you said, you've been doing a lot of building and just kind of cleaning house and getting things prepared. And the StyloPay kind of like symbolizes that milestone that like, okay, guys, things are now put together. We now have the interface in place and we're going to move forward from here. So is there anything else, any other questions you were kind of getting from people? Anything else going on?
Well, I think, as people are looking at what we're doing and starting to see, and we've talked about it a little bit more. And I think over the past, like I said, I've really kind of focused on the nuts and bolts, but the questions are, what does this mean? And where is it? Why do we think that we're kind of the fintech that's going to make some big changes? And I think in the past, I've spoken a lot about the telecom industry and what we saw years ago and how we're looking at this 10-year run of complete building of infrastructure. And it's an overused kind of statement, but it's very, very true. I mean, what we're seeing now in financial services is what we saw on the internet back in the 90s. And what that means is we need to put the systems together. So for what we want to do, and I think what you're going to see from us next year is what is when the customer or the user who doesn't have a bank account, who doesn't have access, those billions and billions of people, we can put a card in their hand and that card can be connected back. They can buy things, they can go to point of sale, they can do e-commerce, and all of a sudden, like that, people are connected to financial services. And now we see a whole new economy happening where billions of people actually can contribute. And this ties into the virtual world. This ties into things that we're hearing about metaverses. There's things like that. It's like, how do we get people connected and utilizing the services? And this is really what we're all about, is really providing that access and giving people access. And we're allowing the other companies that have services, because they're sitting there and they're saying, well, how do I expand into a market? There's this fantastic market of 700 million people. How do I get my services to them? How to get my innovation to them? Well, I need to plug into a system that can access them, can connect to the financial system and give them distribution. And that's what we've built.
Yeah, Mike, I think you bring up a really good point there with the accessibility. There's no use having products if people can't access them. And by increasing the accessibility, it kind of acts as a catalyst for everything to flourish. everybody wins the more people that can access it, the people who didn't have access before and the people who needed more people on the platform. So make a really good point there. Thank you for coming on, Mike, and sharing a little bit, shedding a little bit of light on the StyloPay situation. Is there anything else you want to add or let people know to look forward to going into 2022?
I think 2022 is our year to really kind of grow and expand. We have built these companies, built the platform. We're launching new revenue services this month, next month, and going forward. So I think next 2022 is going to be an exciting year for us. It's an action year, and it's when the company's going to grow and build.
Wonderful, Mike. Well, everyone, follow us on this journey. Subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment if you have any questions at all. Stay tuned for another video coming soon. Mike, have a wonderful day.
All right. Thank you.